Do you know about something called the 7 mysteries? Things like the anatomy model in the science lab. Moving, a staircase suddenly having an extra step at a certain time. The eyes of the Beethoven poster in the music room moving. It's like school-specific ghost stories. I have a terrifying experience related to those mysteries that I want to share here. Around the time I was nearing graduation in third year, weird things were happening frequently at my school. Things would disappear all at once from the desks in a classroom. A student was badly injured in a part of the hallway for no reason. The iron pipes of the gym ceiling skeleton fell down. There was a fire that completely burned down a easiest floor storage room, things like that. Whenever something happened, the teachers would just say, "Be more careful." But with so many completely bizarre incidents happening, one after another, strange rumors started spreading among the students. According to the rumors, the school had one of those 7 mysteries that you can hear about anywhere. Ridiculous. That's what I thought at first. But when a certain accident occurred, I became truly terrified of the 7 mysteries deep down. Unbelievably, a friend died in an accident at school. Before the accident, he had been playing with some friends at the rooftop pool that was scheduled to be demolished at the end of last year. I don't know the details, but apparently they were interested in the 7 mysteries and were looking for clues. A few days later, my friend was found dead in that abandoned pool. He had swallowed all of the water accumulated in the pool, his stomach grotesquely swollen. He had also swallowed the moss and filth growing on the bottom, and his body was half decayed when discovered. My friends and I were simply shocked speechless by what happened. Not only did that friend have outstanding athletic ability, he was proactive but never reckless. He was a clever guy. Yet that friend died just because he went to an abandoned pool. It's just too stupid. Surely he wouldn't have died from just falling into a pool, even if he was careless. For someone with his coordination, something like that couldn't have happened. The 7 mysteries he had taken interest in may have been the direct cause of his death after all. That's what I thought. Probably all of us, not just me, imagined in horror what might have happened in that pool, even if our ideas differed. Everyone's faces were incredibly pale. Then a few days after the accident, any talk about his death became taboo among us. We all went to his funeral. Were ceaselessly questioned about him until we were mentally exhausted. Of our group, K, who had been high-strung to begin with, seemed to have reached his limit. As soon as he entered the classroom, he violently kicked over a desk and chair, glared around at us with bloodshot eyes, yelled, "I can't take it anymore," and stopped coming to school altogether after that. None of us could laugh at K. One day after school, about 2 weeks after the accident, I was in the classroom. It was around p.m. The sun had completely set and the surroundings were dim. Come to think of it, what exactly are these 7 mysteries anyway? I was vaguely wondering about that. Up until now, the major incidents had been the mass disappearance of items from the 9th-year classroom, the 3rd floor hallway where a student was injured, the gym where the ceiling pipe fell, the easiest floor storeroom that burned down, and, of course, the abandoned pool. 5 location. If the 7 mysteries were real, where would the remaining 2 incidents happen and what would occur? There's no way I could have imagined. All the accident sites and degrees of damage were totally random. I happened to glance at the clock. Though it had just turned past, it was already pitch dark around me. For some reason, I suddenly felt creeped out. With the recent accident and the words 7 mysteries unable to leave my head, I had become extremely sensitive to my surroundings. The classroom felt horribly eerie. Usually August students would still be here studying after school at this time. But before I knew it, there wasn't a single person. The neatly organized rows of desks looked bizarrely frightening. Suddenly, the door on the blackboard side of the room rattled open. My heart nearly stopped from shock, but it was just a classmate. Without so much as glancing my way, he headed straight for the desk by the windows, picked up a black bag hanging next to it, and immediately left the classroom. Don't freak me out like that. I felt a little relieved, but something seemed off. That classmate was acting weird. No, before that, I realized what it was, and my teeth started chattering uncontrollably from fear. The desk my classmate had gone to just now, and the black bag he took both belonged to our friend, who had died in the abandoned pool. I felt like he was smiling at me as he left the classroom. I felt like I was losing my mind. I wanted to get out of the classroom as soon as possible, but was paralyzed at the thought of encountering him again. I took deep breaths, wrote the kanji for person on my palm and swallowed. It took more deep breaths. Looking at the clock, it was still just past 10. I tried to motivate myself to get out of the classroom. It should be simple. I just can't meet him. I dashed out of the classroom telling myself that. I sprinted down the hallway glancing into the empty classes, raced down the stairs, and reached the entranceway with rows of shoe lockers in no time. There I froze. Someone was standing near the lockers. What's more, the person had that black bag in their hand. This is too much. As the person turned around, I saw it was Ke, the one who had said, "I can't take it anymore," and stopped coming to school. I shouted, "Ke?" and ran up to him. "Oh, it's you," he said, surprisingly normal, except for the black bag in his hand. Unable to restrain myself, I blurted out the question. "What's up with that bag?" Ke looked straight into my eyes, standing stock still as if time had stopped. A chill ran through me. Ke burst out laughing. "You want to know that badly? Get now." I just said, "Well, see you around," put on my shoes hastily and left Ke there. I rushed home and went to bed still wearing my uniform. The next day when I went to school, my class seemed stirred up about something. I already had a bad feeling. As soon as I entered the classroom, I noticed a strange stench, indescribable, like a sewer or swamp. My classmates had gathered at the back of the classroom, where my desk was. The top of my desk was stained green. A dark, disgusting green. "What is this?" Getting closer, I saw it was packed densely with tiny granules. No doubt about it, it was moss. I felt nauseous and unconsciously put my hand over my mouth. The abandoned pool. I couldn't be certain, but I was nearly positive this was Ke's doing. What was he thinking doing something like this? My friends all had the same idea as me when I asked them. But Ke himself wasn't in the classroom. My friends and I went looking for Ke at the abandoned pool and found the no entry sign plaque near the stairs, leading to the roof splattered with moss. We looked at each other, grabbed the handle, and the door was unlocked. The instant I tried to open it and step forward, Jaha, an ear-piercing scream. Ke. Looking into the abandoned pool interior, Ke was there covered in moss, shrieking and jumping around, flailing his arms, raging like a madman. He was violently swinging around that black bag from yesterday, as if trying to ward something off. We could only watch, frozen. Afterwards, some teachers called by students came, restrained Ke, and took him away like that. The horror of that scene is still burned into my eyes. I don't know what happened to Ke after that. I still don't know what exactly the 7 mysteries were either. At my request after that, my parents completed the transfer procedures, so I could switch schools, entering one in a different prefecture. Nothing changed at the new school, but even now, when I see a black bag, I recall simultaneously that Eerie classmate, who entered the classroom after school that day, and Ke's deranged expression.